the Voices.com terms and conditions. A number of years ago, that there was a big update to terms and conditions that said something along the lines of, like, we own any audio you upload and we can use it for whatever purpose. I mean, I get that, like, these days, there's in aside from the pay to plays and agents and everything, there's been this pressure from clients that they want to own the audio. They're paying for it. They want to own it and use it for whatever they want. And perhaps it's a response to that. But is that still the case, that the terms and conditions for voice artists say that, anything you upload to the platform we can use for whatever we want? Because people were worried that it was a TTS learning algorithm thing, and that auditions were being used to train AI voices.
Yeah.
Can you put any of that to bed? Is that the case?
No, I trust me, I'd love nothing more than that. First off, I mean, our business is to run a marketplace. We're not a tech company. We're not going to compete with Google and Amazon to create synthetic voices or AI voices. I mean, listen, they have thousands of engineers working on this kind of project, and they're decades ahead. So it's never been our heart's desire to even enter that space. The reason why, and so we haven't, for exceeding clarity, we've not sold data sets, we've not, of auditions, no desire, nothing on a strategic roadmap to even enter that space. I think, to reuse the phrase of sticking to our knitting, what are we really good at? And we ask ourselves this, like, what is it that we do? It's like we run a marketplace that connects clients and talent to fulfill these jobs. And that's, as simple as it is. We're kind of a straightforward, very candid, clear, simple bunch. Smart people, but it's like some of this stuff is just, I think it's, I think it's, speculative at best and like kind of fear mongering at worst, which is not constructive for us. And I've just learned a while back to, not engage and trying to defend all of this. It's like, let's just keep doing our thing. And it was actually one of our board members who gave me a great line, Toby, which is there's kind of, two different mindsets you can have, especially as a leader of a tech company. You can be, the competitive mindset and be fearful and worried about what so-and-so is doing and what are they building and what someone said about you. But that can really bring you down, right? You're kind of always looking over your shoulder. Or you can have the creative mindset. And the creative mindset is like, here's our vision, here's where we want to go, we're going to build on our strengths. And we've just opted, and I think collectively agreed, let's build on our strengths of what we know instead of anywhere kind of dabbling in, unknown areas that are highly controversial that actually don't support our core business. And so here's kind of the other funny thing about that. Speculation that we were even ever going to enter into the space. I'm very proud of what Voices and the team here has built. We built an incredible business. Why would we cannibalize all of that by building a synthetic or AI voice? It's literally trading dollars for pennies. It doesn't make any sense because you build that machine once, then it's just going to crank out automated voices for pennies. Where we used to be able to live out a vision of providing income for talent and as well as for all of the employees here at Voices. So it actually undermined our core business operations. So that was kind of point number one. But if I may, I think, why did we have anything in the terms of service at all? The only reason we needed to is because, listen, no one's waiving their rights and giving us indefinite use of their audio. What was happening is the client would, ghost, disappear, and we would say, oh, you owe us for, it would be on a credit card, the credit card would fail, they would still use the file, and we would have to chase down that client. And then we would be getting into these disputes that the client would say, well, you don't have the right. Why are you reaching out on behalf of the talent? And we'd say, so that we concluded with, advice of our, law firm. It's like, you need to temporarily own this as the file passes through your system, right? You're having this file upload into your system. Who owns that? and we say, well, we will own it until it's paid for. And once the client's paid for, then it's a transfer of ownership. So you can, for those who are interested, they can look up a transfer of ownership. So it's this kind of like, almost like clearinghouse temporary state that it sits in, so that in the unlikely and hopefully doesn't happen situation that the client does, payment doesn't get fulfilled all the way. Sometimes we issue terms where the client can pay us 30, 60, 90 days later. We've paid out the talent on the Friday, but sometimes there's this kind of holding period. If for some reason we need to have the legal recourse to actually go down and chase that client to recoup the money that we've already paid the talent for. So that was the entire spirit of what we were trying to achieve. I think it was around the same time of a lot of other AI voice companies and this whole voice first phenomenon and smart speakers and Google Home launching and like all of this stuff that I think unfortunately some might have connected dots that just weren't there to connect.